E3 2018 is officially underway. Today I watched EA talk about some games which I'm pretty excited for, some that I'm kind of interested in, and others which I could care less about. My name is Ryan Ramakrishnan, and today I'm going to talk about EA Play 2018 and my thoughts and opinions on everything they showed and the press conference in general. First up is the hotly anticipated Battlefield 5.
On your feet! Here we go!
I'm not saying that Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 are anything similar, but being the franchises are ultimately always kind of compared for being the big multiplayer-centric first-person shooters annually, it's kind of hard not to talk about them in the same sentence. Personally, when I found out there was no campaign in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, I was disappointed. But then Battlefield 5 said that there is still storytelling in there, and a Battle Royale mode as well, which was actually announced at EA Play 2018. So I'm thinking Battlefield 5 looks pretty good. I'm actually really interested in the setting and the style. The gameplay looks like a lot of fun, and I think that EA Play showed us a pretty cool trailer. The problem is they didn't show us much. I think that Battlefield 5 is literally one of the biggest titles coming out this year, and EA's biggest besides Anthem for sure. And Anthem is not even out this year. So why didn't we get more of Battlefield 5? I know that the Xbox E3 conference tomorrow will show it. Microsoft will totally have it on stage and probably give us more details, but it kind of sucks that EA sort of showed us Battlefield 5 and then moved on, but they talked a lot about Anthem later on, which I will get to, but Battlefield 5 looks really cool, and I'm happy with what they showed us. I'm happy with the whole loot box situation not being relevant for Battlefield, and I think it sounds really good, but I felt like they didn't show us enough for some reason. FIFA, Madden, and NBA Live together in one category, so I'm just going to talk about EA Sports games.
I'm coming through, breaking in that window in the kitchen. Hang on and get the chance. That's how I made this beat.
It is the big day. On the biggest stage. At the World Cup.
When it comes to sports video games, I have to be blatantly honest with you. I do not care whatsoever. Now that's not to say that they're not polished experiences. I have watched my brother and my friends play games like Madden. Generally speaking, I'm pretty impressed with the graphic fidelity and the realism of it all. But ultimately, sports games are for people who like sports games. People who enjoy the sports that they are trying to create the experience of. Those games really do appeal to casual fans, and E3 is supposed to be a time for gamers. That's not to say that casual fans of video games can't get excited for announcements and trailers, but why should EA always focus on these experiences? The truth is, we know there's going to be a Madden coming out in August, and we know there's going to be a FIFA coming out in the fall, and I personally wasn't sure if there's going to be an NBA Live, but of course there's an NBA Live. I don't think that EA should be really showing off these games at E3 for more than a trailer for each, honestly. Even though sports games are very popular amongst a lot of people, I feel like they don't really show that well when it comes to E3 presentations. I think that having people come on stage to talk about FIFA kind of unnecessary. And also, I think that the Madden presentation wasn't so great either. The kid who was the champion for Madden tournaments is something you don't really need to bring to E3. It doesn't really matter when it's talking about Madden 19. Unravel 2 and Sea of Solitude, or SOS, are the EA originals, which I'm going to be talking about. With the likes of A Way Out and Unravel, EA Originals rocks. Honestly, it is a great thing for Electronic Arts and for the gamers. Unravel fortunately has a sequel, and it looks quite good. It's called Unravel 2, and it is spelled TWO, and that is because you have two creatures of yarn, whatever they're called. You have two characters, not just Yarny this time around. I can't get over how delightful this game looks. Right away, I smiled. I knew that this game was going to bring a smile to my face. It looks charming. I loved watching Unravel play out because the whole game is just such a pleasant experience. I think the developer is still pretty passionate about it. It's kind of charming to see that he's still so excited about it, and you can see the passion, and I love that about EA Originals. These indie developers love what they're doing, and EA apparently does not profit at all. Best part is, it's literally available right now. By the time you watch this video, you may have already beaten the game. I think it probably is a really nice time. I was also impressed by the other EA Original title. That one is called Sea of Solitude, or SOS as they're also calling it. Sea of Solitude didn't get a whole lot of gameplay or even cinematics shown to us, but what we did get is pretty interesting, and I'm definitely curious as to what this game's all about. Easily my favorite part about it is the fact that the developer is another passionate person. She went up there and you can tell she was excited. She was probably nervous, and she was just so happy that Electronic Arts, a major third-party publisher, was letting her game get shown, and they're publishing it for her to finally let her dreams come true. She talked about all these ideas of loneliness and emotions and creating your art that reflects on your emotional state of mind. And it's deep and it's really meaningful, and I think that's special. I think that Sea of Solitude sounds fantastic, and it's a game that I want to support for sure.
So when you're playing it by yourself, you can essentially pick up the other character and carry them along through the more fast-paced segments of the game.
So ultimately, EA Originals are the two games that stole the show, I think, for me. These two games are just delightful, each in their own way, and I think that that is the part that EA is doing well.
Danger and kind of wow moments.
EA apparently has a lot of Star Wars content in the near future, and at EA Play they talked about new stuff coming for Star Wars Battlefront 2, as well as the mention of a new game from Respawn called Star Wars The Jedi Fallen Order. Just knowing that Electronic Arts addresses the fact that Star Wars Battlefront 2 was not all it could have been at the start and had the microtransactions and loot boxes that gamers did not want at all is a good start for moving forward for them. Fortunately, at EA Play this year, we actually learned a lot of new content is coming to Battlefront 2 on top of the stuff that we already knew we were going to get. I'm actually hyped to see Anakin Skywalker, Count Dooku, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and most of all, General Grievous. I think that EA is actually doing a really good job at supporting Battlefront 2. They've changed the progression system, and the game now has multiple modes, multiple characters, and customizations within, and a lot of content to play and have a good time with. This game has gotten a lot of improvements. I think they're doing a really good job with continuing support in this game, and it's all free, so why not jump into Battlefront 2 now? It just keeps getting better and better. Coming from Respawn Entertainment, this game is going to be called
Jedi Fallen Order.
Woo! So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
It has been said to be taking place at a dark time in between episode 3 and 4, where the Jedis are being hunted, and you get to play as the Jedi. It's also confirmed that you'll totally get to use a lightsaber. I'm actually really excited for this. If you guys watched my last video, you'll know that a single-player Star Wars game with real raw information is what I wanted to see at E3 2018. And, well, we sort of got it. The truth is, they didn't really show us anything at all. They didn't even, make an announcement. It was very random. I was kind of disappointed that all we got was someone telling us about it and saying, yeah, it's coming out holidays. I would have liked some sort of teaser trailer, but at the same time, here's where I'm conflicted. I'm almost happy we didn't, because then I'd be worried that it's just another tease that will never come to fruition, such as the Visceral Star Wars game or Star Wars 1313. Either way, I am really excited to see a single-player focused Star Wars game coming out next year. I can only imagine it's going to be fantastic. I just want to know a little more about it than the name of it or where it's set.
It will be holiday of next year, 2019, not this year.
Next up is Command & Conquer Rivals. When a new mobile game was being shown off, it was not all that exciting at all to me. And then they said it's Command & Conquer Rivals, and I was still not excited. Command & Conquer is a long-running franchise, and I think that it's revered by people who enjoy strategy games, but it does not appeal to me whatsoever. My gaming taste does not enjoy these types of games, so right when I started watching them play it, I was completely uninterested, and also because it was a mobile game, I felt like it was not nearly as exciting. What I could say for it is that it should probably have not been presented the way it was. That is where EA really did screw up. I imagine that this game is fun if you're enjoying strategy games and you enjoy Command & Conquer, and you could also play with friends, and that is great. But the thing is, the presentation felt way too drawn out. Having two people come on stage and then play a game on their phone, and the nature of the game does not really lend itself as well as, say, a fighting game. I felt like it was a little boring for me. I think that strategy games don't appeal to me, so I was really, really unimpressed with what I saw. But that's not to say that the game doesn't look good for what it is. I respect strategy games, like I said, I respect Command and Conquer, but the mobile game presentation and the fact that it is just a free-to-play mobile game and all seemed like they were really cutting this short. They could have done a lot better with it. Perhaps made it a big PC game or console game. Maybe presented it in less of a drawn-out way that they did here. I hate to say it because it might be fun, but Command and Conquer Rivals is the low point of EA Play 2018 for me.
Is he going to be able to get it off?
He's got it, Max.
There it is!
He's gonna take it. Defeating Nick and
That was legit. Dude, that was epic.
Amazing.
Easily the biggest game from EA this year to talk about is BioWare's Anthem. Coming off franchises like Dragon Age and Mass Effect, BioWare is a very beloved developer under EA, and they've produced a lot of excellent RPGs. Anthem is easily one of the most anticipated games right now. I think that after it was shown last year, a lot of people had their attention on it, and this year they made sure to focus heavily on it. I might argue though that they focused too much. While it's good that they showed gameplay, that they sat down with the developers and they had a big conversation about many things in Anthem.
So we're going to do something a little bit different for the rest of the show, and we're going to take a deep dive into Anthem. So I'm going to bring out some members of the BioWare team to chat with us.
They gave us a release date. They said that there will be no loot boxes that affect gameplay or progression. All of these things that are really good were said, but it felt a little too long, to be honest. I thought maybe EA should have gave some more time to Battlefield 5, or I wish they had other games to talk about. But Anthem, while it looks awesome, was definitely drawn out. What I do like is what I'm seeing, though. I mean, I think the graphics look nice. I think the world looks really awesome. I like the idea of being able to fly around in your javelin, being able to choose from 4 different javelins and customize them to your liking, and being able to pick up missions with your friends. I can't help but think the messaging is a bit unclear because they're saying it's not an MMO, it's a shared world shooter, but it's also a single player experience. Personally, I think I'll have to really see more about this before I say, yeah, I'm going to get it when it comes out in February, because the truth is, I'm not really big on multiplayer games, and I want a story, and I have a feeling that maybe their messaging is making it a little too unclear to understand whether or not this is a true multiplayer game or a single player game. What I saw for Anthem does look super cool, I'm not going to lie.
So Anthem comes out February 22nd, 2019 on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
So yeah, that's how I overall felt about EA's E3 2018 press conference. I think that EA kind of played it safe, and they've been doing that a lot. I just don't know that I could say I'm really that impressed with it overall. I wouldn't say that EA really set the bar that high. I'd say that the upcoming press conferences, honestly, they'll probably be more impressive, whether you like it or not. But enough about my thoughts on EA Play 2018. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. What games did you like? What games were you disappointed by or unimpressed by? So just leave me a comment and let's have a discussion about EA Play 2018. Thank you all so much for watching. And be sure to subscribe because I plan to post new content as frequently as I can in the next week for E3 2018. I would like to be able to talk about Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Square Enix, and Bethesda, just like I did with EA. But being the press conferences are all falling kind of on the same day with the exception of EA today and Nintendo on Tuesday, I don't know when the content will be up, but I definitely plan to do what I can to talk about it and give you guys my thoughts on E3 2018. Until next time.